purely for the sake of being thorough, I'll do a video on what you can be doing in high school to prepare potentially down the road for medical school. Because I know there's some gunners out there that are in high school and they are already just knowing that they want to go into the medical field. So just a disclaimer: there's no reason that in high school you should be worried about getting into medical school. It's a long way off. You have all of your undergrad to go through, and a lot of people finish undergrad and they still don't know what they want to do, and then they eventually decide that they want to go into medicine. It's not a race, but for those of you in high school, here we go. The first thing that I would say is when you're applying to colleges, you don't need to be, you don't need to be going to Harvard to be getting into med school. In certain senses, there can be drawbacks to going to, those very top-notch competitive schools. Your classmates, the kids you're competing with, it can be very difficult. And I have some friends that went to UC Berkeley, and those classroom settings, it's tough to make an A. And schools kind of understand that. They understand that the more competitive schools, it can be harder to get the grades, but it's really up to you. And I would say it's much more important to go to a school where you feel like you fit in, a school that you really enjoy. So that's just something to consider when you're making a college decision. And next, if you want to start looking at videos, start watching videos. It's mostly about just at this point getting excited. Get excited about medicine. It's a lot easier to study. I'm sure it's a lot easier to study for classes that you enjoy. It's a lot easier to maintain your focus when hey, I want to go into this field down the road, so I need to be taking these steps to get there and to be excited about that. So watch videos. If you're watching these videos, that's great. That's your first steps. There's a lot of other people that make videos out there explaining the pre-med process, and it's great to just be informed. Always ask questions of people that are older than you or people that have gone through this process already. Pick their brains. It's the best way to gain insight in the process. Something I absolutely wish I would have done a little more of as I was going through college. And so if you're going to be in the biological sciences, or whatever major you want to pursue, but you want to do medicine down the road, it looks really good to have some research under your belt. And in my opinion, it's pretty much never too early to get into research. So if you're a senior, or you're going to your summer before you're starting your undergrad, reach out to, you can look up what research goes on at your school online ahead of time, and you can reach out to those professors. If you say you want to, I did a neurocognitive kinesiology lab. Say you love, sports science and you love neuroscience, and hey, that's a great fit for you. Whatever your interests are, just look up the labs, kind of read into what they do, and reach out to people in the lab. Say, hey, I'm coming to the school. I really want to pursue this research. I think it's really interesting. Engage in conversation with them. There's no reason to feel worried or to feel nervous about engaging in conversation with lab groups, because they're excited. They want to bring students in. Hey, you're pretty much free labor for them, so there's nothing for them to really be pessimistic about. Yeah, and then the final thing is that, like I said, it sounds cheesy, and it is really just to get excited about medicine, because it's a really exciting field. And if you want to do it, and especially if you just know you want to do it already at this point, continue to always want to learn a little bit more. In my opinion, it's never too early to get started. To get started preparing for something, and you don't need to be studying for your MCAT during your freshman year. Of course, that's completely ridiculous. But there are, every step of the way, there's things that you can be doing to prepare yourself, so that you don't get 6 months out from the application process and be like, what have I been doing these last 3 years? So yeah, those are just some things to keep in mind. And next time we're going to talk about what to do during your freshman year of college. All right.